Good morning and welcome to the class on today. So today is our second day on Power BI. Last week we started with data connections, how to connect your data using the get data function and also using Power Query editor. This we use new source in Power Query and we use get data in Power BI. We also learn how to create connections between two data, that is relationship, how to do relationship between data. Then we learn how to use the AI functions to create visual. Thereafter, we went straight into DAX functions. We learn the use of some DAX functions. So we learn the use of some of the DAX functions. This is on that day. So today we are going to focus more on DAX functions. When we talk about say DAX functions, what we call DAX functions are data analysis expressions. Call it data analysis expression. Sorry, 1 minute. DAX function. So here, if you go to just search for DAX, you can see a lot of data functions that you can use. It's DAX guy. So there are a lot of data analysis expressions there that can be of help. So we have a lot, just like we have a lot of functions in Excel. We have a lot of functions, like aggregate functions, correlation functions, relationship management, statistical functions, logic functions, data type functions, filter. So you can see a lot of functions that we have under that. In Power BI, in Power Query, the code you see in Power Query are called N code. But here we have DAX code. In Power Query, you have M code, while in Power BI, you have DAX code here. So all the code you are writing here, all the code you are writing here are DAX code. So they are similar to, most of them are similar to what we learned in Excel, or some of them rather, not the most. So some of them are similar to what we already know in Microsoft Excel, like what we did last week. I think we did sum. Okay, this is loading. Let's just go. Loading. I don't know why this map is not coming up. So we use sum last week to get our total sales. We use sum to get total sales last week. So today I'm going to continue. I'm going to build on that. When you talk of measures or that function can be divided into two. That can be divided into two. That function. We have what is called calculated measure, and we have what is called calculated columns. We have calculated columns and we have calculated measures. When we say calculated measure, those are the ones we created last week. That when you create it, you can find them under your function. Just find them under a particular table here. But when you mention calculated column, It means we want to create another column by using that function. Is that clear? It's a calculated column. It means we are creating a new column, but we are using what? We are using that function to create that column. So when you create a column using that function, we call that column calculated columns. Is that clear? Is it clear? It's taking too much time. It shouldn't be I need to free something from taking the memory. Let me cancel this. Just continue with our. Let's see. That is not affect. So we move on. Okay. Now, if we go to our table view, you can see we have a lot of tables there. We have channel, we have gauge, table.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Please, your voice is not clear.
Yes.
My voice is not
We
clear.
hardly hear what you are saying, please.
Okay.
I've been raising up my hand. Please, you didn't see it.
Okay. What about now? Is this safe? Is this safe? Or is better? Hello? Is it better now or is this safe?
A little bit better.
But not that too much.
Yes.
Hold on. What about now? Can you hear me now?
No difference, though.
Hello?
There is no difference. I can't hear you clearly. I cannot hear you clearly.
What about now? Can you hear me?
Generalize.
Can you hear me better now? Hello? Can you hear me now? Any loss? Is it okay? Or is it far away?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello? Is it okay now? Is it better now?
Let's see. We can see. You said, is it better now? Or it's not echoing. Let's see whether it's going to be okay.
Okay.
Now.
I think the problem was people said they cannot hear me very well. That my voice is somehow far away.
Exactly, and it's echoing. It's breaking. It's echoing. It's breaking.
Okay. What about now? Is it better now? We can continue and see what happens.
So.
Okay. Also, it's no longer echoing now.
No.
Okay. So we have tables here. So we have a lot of tables here. We have geography table, and we have date tables, we have product tables, and all these tables that we have. Let's quickly see. Okay, let's do something, please. I want us to use this table. Let's see. Let me check this table and see what we have. We have calendar year, half year, quarter, month label, days, weekly, weekday, back to school, no season, all this, all this, all this. Okay, let's hide some of these columns so that we can create more. I want us to create some columns using that function. Right. So I'm going to hide this column. Remove this column. Hide and report view. That means not shown that report view, but can I just go and remove them under Power Query? Just to remove it. Or let's go to let's see if we can remove it under Power. We don't need. I don't think we need this table. Delete this. I don't think we need it. Okay. We have this quarter 3, quarter 2. You can use it in another time, but for now, we already have plenty columns, so I don't need all these columns. But let me even delete the year and month, but that's what I want to learn here. So they are pending changes. Okay. Okay, this we now use all this. So we are going to recreate some of them for learning. We have used date. I think we have used year already in our slicer. Let me check. I think we have used year already in our slicer. So we will leave the year, but I will explain what we're supposed to learn there. So I'm going to explain it. Back to table view. Back to table view. Let's not respond. Let's wait a bit. Okay, so let me remove this one with fiscal label. Let me select them together. Let me select them together. I want to select more than one column. So it's not allowing me to do that. Okay, I think this is taking much of our time. I don't want to go back to Power Query because of the issue of loading back again. So I'm deleting some of the columns there. These American system don't need them now. In today's class, don't need it. You can use them in analysis. Okay, now let's quickly see what calculated column means. I'm going to make use of this, and we want to create. Let's start from. We have this date on the left side there. This is our date key. Now, how do we create year? How do we create year? In so we have to start here. We have calendar year. How do we create year in our Excel in Power BI? How do we create year in Power BI? So when you can see that we are already on the table view. At the top here, you can see a new column. A new column. Go to click on new column. So once you see a new column by the right side, column. And on the formula bar, you can see column equals to. I will call this year. I will call this year. So year now. Year equals to get your year. Remember in Excel, what do you use in Excel? It's called year function. We have year and you just put in your date, which is the date key, right? The first column, we're going to use the first column, which is date key, and we'll extract whatever date we have there. Date key, then close the bracket. So once you do that, you can see your new column on the right side here. That is the column, that is year. That is how to get your year from Power BI. We use year function to extract year. And we use month function to extract month number too. We use month function to extract month number. So let me quickly do that also. I said I'm deleting the month that we have there before so that we can create our own. Here, I'll select new column also. A new column means a new column. Then we change it to month number. Call it month number. Month number. Month number. So here we use month. Same formula we use and use our date key. That column, the first column here, you can see that the name is date key. So we are going to use that column and close the bracket. That will extract the month number for us. If the month is January or February, you can see the number. This is July. This section means July. You can see the numbers there. So in some cases, whereby you just have you only have the date key. You don't have all this. You can extract all this, some of these in Power Query, and you can also extract them using what? DAX function. Are we getting that? So that is how to create, how to extract month, how to extract year and the month. The same thing with day numbers too. This number that we have, we can also extract the number. But before that, let's extract date, which is 1, 2, 3 to 31 for July. Click on new function, new column. So on the column we have day number. Day number. equals to date, put the bracket and pass your date key, your column, your date key column, and close the bracket. So from that column, it will extract all the three for us. We have the year, the month, and the day. So the same way, assuming you have these three, and there is need for you to create a new column for date. Assuming we don't have the date and we have these three, what formula do we use in Excel to get the date? In Excel, what formula do we use? When you have day, month, and year, what formula do we use to get date? Somebody remind me, can you tell me? In Excel, what formula do you use to get date in Excel? Hello, can you unmute and talk? The formula is not hard. The formula is date. Formula itself is date. Date equals to date function. That's what is called date function. Can you see? We need three things to create date: year, month, and day. What's our year? We have a year column, comma. When you select a year column, consider we have different years there. How do we know the one we need? It's going to be the one inside this date table. Inside this date table, we have year, which is the year here. We have this year, but this is the one we created just now. Comma. The month, we have month. We have month number. This is what we created, comma. And we have the other column called day number. Day number. So with these three, we can create a new column called date. These are called, we call all these calculated columns. We can come back here, come and format this, and change this one to normal date or any date of the choice. But we don't need that now. We don't need the date. We already have one date already, so I'm going to delete it. That is how. And one thing you will notice is that calculated columns, when you see it, you will see it like this. You will see, can you see the way it's looking like? Can you see the way it's looking like? The calculated column. You see that? This is how to know calculated column. A column with some signs of calculation, something like that. That is calculated column. Now, I know by now you'll be wondering, when we have 1, 2, 3, how do we now get the day? In Excel, we use text function in Excel. Text function to get your day, that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We use text function in Excel. But here in Power BI, we don't use text functions. We use formats instead. We use what? Format. We use format instead. Please, if you cannot hear me, let me know, please. So with format, I'm going to create a new column now. I'll select a new column. New column. And I'm going to call it month name. Month name. Month name. You see that we have month number, we have month name. You'll be wondering, why do we need month number when we have month name? I'm going to explain something to us. Go back to our canvas on this. I think we did something like that last week when we sorted. Okay, I think it's the power pivot. When we sorted the column under column. Now let's quickly look at this. Month name equals to format. You use format function. Then you open the bracket. What do you want to format? Exactly the same way we format in a text function with Excel. What do? We just pass our date key column, comma. We now say, okay, we want the format to be in month, double quote, MMM. If you put 3, it will shorten the date for you. If you put 4, it's going to write a full date for you. Then let's close the bracket. So you can see we have our month name. This is July, and that is 7. So to get your day also, do the same thing. We're going to use format function. Format function to pass the date key column, the column that you have your date, and you format it as a DDDD. So okay, we have our day name. Our day name equals to format. Open the bracket. Value we want to format is our date key. Date key. Then select this and comma. We want to format as what? As day. I want to be capital letter. Double quote. Remember, I put them in double quote. And one good thing about all this is that even if you don't know, if you don't remember all this formula, you can use your ChatGPT or Google nowadays. You have to be by your side. Very quickly ask for any of it that you don't remember. Is that clear? Any question? Now, are we okay with that? Now let's also add like some other dates in here again. We have a function called weekday. Weekday will extract this for us. These are our days. This 5, 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 7, 1 to 7 every day for us. Then we'll have e-date, expected date. We have what is called expected date. In Excel, we also have it in Excel too. So we have it as I'm going to click on this. Assuming the okay. Okay, I think before we do this, okay, let's have a date. We have these are dates, right? We have a date already. So let's have an e-date. E-date is the expected date that you expect something to happen. This is the column we are using now. What we call it? Let's say we want something. Any product we created on this date will expire on another date. Let's say, or expected, or payment date, expected date, or payment date, something like that. We expect something on this date. Okay, let me just put expected date. Then we'll have what is called e-date. We have e-date functions. So e-date function needs two things. And we see start date and month. That's the number. These are two things that we need. So let's pass in our date key column. That is the date. So we are telling Power BI to look at this date, then count 4 months after it. The month that's asking you is number here. How many months do you want this thing to appear? Then close the bracket and hit enter. That is it. So it means that what we produce on the 1st of July is expected to expire or to pay whatsoever on the 1st of November, being 4 months. So you can come back here and format your date. Is that clear? So we also have EO month, end of month. Of month in Power BI. The formula we have it in Excel also. Call it EO month. Let me create a new column. Okay, so we call it, let's say, just like expected date, let's call this one expire month. It means that everything you produce or renewal date, let's call it renewal. Maybe when you give something to somebody, you have to renew at the end of the month, renewal month. And it's going to be the end of the next month. It's going to be what? It's going to be end of next month. What do? We use the function called EO month. That is end of month. EO month stands for what? End of month. So the first thing is the tax date, which is our date key. Our date key colon, comma, how many months? 3. I will close the bracket. So the difference between this and the E-date is that we look at the end of the month. This new formula, we look at the what? End of the month. That is called EO month. You can see everything that we produce in July, we renew, or any license we issue, we renew at what? At 31st of October. So all of them will renew on the same day. Or we due for renewal on the same day. So we have start of month. So all those formulas are there for us. You can go and check. You can go ahead and check the DAX guide there, so you can learn more. Hello, somebody speaking.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. What we are doing now in Power BI is to use the DAX function to get all these dates. Exactly. But how do we bring it in here under this data, whatever, all that? Well, I can see all DAX there.
No, the calculator column cannot go under that, all that, because these are, like I said at the beginning of the class, I said we have calculated column and we have calculated measure. Measures can be dragged under from one column to another column, from another column. But that column, the calculated column, will stay in the column where we created it. You can see that we are creating new columns for them.
Okay.
These are new columns. That is called them. Don't move them from that table where you put them. Is that clear?
Okay.
Hello, is it clear?
Hello, sir.
These are new columns that we are creating inside this table. So they are going to stay inside this table. Hello, go ahead.
It's okay.
Okay. So when you talk about measure, let me quickly open this. You can see that when we create measure, measure can only be viewed when we drag in into visual. Measure total cost. If you have total cost, there's no column for total cost in our sales table. No column for total sales in our sales table. If you go to sales table, they are just formula that we have somewhere to be reused. For this one, these are columns that we need to see, and we are going to see how to make use of them in short period. So let me add 2 more columns before we move back to our visual and see how date can be useful for us in Power BI. Let me create 2 more columns. Let me create start date. Let me create a start date. Let me this column. Let me add a new column for start date. And then we'll add DATE-DIFF at the end. So I'm going to stop with DATE-DIFF. We have beginning date or first date of the month. Like we have end of the month, we can also have beginning day of every month or start of month. Beginning date of every month. So we can call this one, let's call it, we use what is called start of month. You can see we have start of month, then we pass our date key. Date key. Click enter. So this will return the first day of every month for us. Okay. First day of every month will be returned here for us. So let me change this. So let me format it the same way. Okay. For I said I want customer key. You don't have customer table here. We will not use the. Okay, let me just create it. Let's just learn it how it works. Learn how to work, how it works. So there is DATE-DIFF in Excel. We know that DATE-DIFF is one of the functions that we have in Excel, which is not a Excel function, but it works in almost all Excel. It works in all Excel tables, on all Excel functions, but it's not a formula in Excel. So here in Power BI, we also have DATE-DIFF as a function. When you want to calculate age, please note this. The best function you can use to calculate date, age, calculate age, either in Excel or Power BI, is what? Is a DATE-DIFF. In Excel, we have it as DATE-DIFF as a single F. But in Power BI, we have it as div. We have 2F in Power BI. The first thing is date 1, which is start date. Let's use this date as a date as date 1. I want to know this date as if somebody is born on this date, what is age today? So we're going to use date key. Assuming we have their date now, we use a birth date, but we don't have it. Date key. We start the date key, and the next one is today's date. Up to today, let's say it's today, and okay, sorry, something missing here. So after the today's date, it's asking how do we want it? Want it in years? Want it in years, and let's hit enter. See what we have. You can see the age. Age column is now here, you can see their age. People that is born on social day, you have the social year age by this year, 2005, 2005, and see their age. So that is how to use that. Now, let's now quickly move into our DAX function and see our visual report view. Let's see how we can make use of this. All these things have been creating on date. Let's see how we can make use of them in Power BI. First, let's use a table or matrix. Let's use a matrix here. Let's use a matrix here. I'm going to bring in. Let me bring in this beginning of month. Beginning of month. As the beginning date of every month. Beginning date of month. So I want to remove the year. And put that. Month day. One month. What I bring in? Beginning date of month. Beginning date. Let's string 1, 2, 3. Let me go back to this. See what we have under beginning date. Beginning date this is what we have. 1717. Okay, let's go back. Let me do this. Beginning date. Beginning date of every month. I don't need the year. I don't need the quarter. But I want the exact date. What is showing me January. Not more than. Why is it? Okay, let me bring it. Okay. I'll work on that body. I'll work on that body. Bring in the date. See what our problem. Let me bring date. Have this. Yeah. I want to see that date, which is the first day of every month. This is not here. Okay. Let me stay by what we have for now. Let me stay by this. See how to fix that. Okay. Is this summarize? Let me select the follow and see something here. Beginning date. Okay. We have the beginning date for every month. Then, but it's still repeating. Is it correct? Okay. Beginning date of January or February or March. Okay. This is what we have. This is what we want. This is what we want. So now I can bring in my total sales. My total sales under value. So you can see my total sales at the beginning of every month. This total sales per month. From beginning to the end of every month, you can see my total sales. I can also do my total purchases. So with this, it will be easy for us to compare our sales and total purchases. Can you see? So that is one of the use of date in the Power BI. Is that clear? So let me show you what happened again when we are bringing our date and the date is doing somehow. Let's see what happened here. I'm going to remove the date again. This is the beginning date we have here. But because of the power of Power BI, it has created hierarchy for this. So you can see this triangle. This is something that looks like triangle here. So I just click on this, and you can see there are things you can do with it. So what I need is, I don't need the hierarchy. I need the beginning date only. So now you can see we have the days. You can compare them. Now you can compare them day by day. Is that clear? Hello? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear. This one.
Okay. Today is more formula, so don't be afraid. We're going to learn more formula today. Today is for formula day. But we don't call it formula in Power BI, we call it DAX. Okay, that is good. Then the next thing also is we can create as much column as possible here. You getting me? We can create, unless you want to create a cover, you want to create profit. Okay, we already have profit here now. So we bring this also, you can see our profit and that. So we use our day. We can also use the month also. If you want to use this, I just use this to test if this is working, if it's not the month. Doesn't mean that if you don't use this, you can use date key itself. And they use month. You can use your month to summarize it. And come here and they use if they want to see it by month, want to remove the year and see by month only. You can see the summary by month. This is January to December. So this is January for all the years, February for all the years, March for all the years, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to delete this chart for now. Now let's create a line chart. Let's create a line chart. This is our line chart. The first thing we have here is that we have total sales. Then we want to, when you are, I told you last week, when you are creating a trend, when you are doing trend, make sure you use line chart or area chart. Those will give you perfect information regarding your trend. Total sales. Now we can now use our date. Total sales by date key and date table. Now you can see our line chart now. Our date and the sales. You can see the movement from the one to the last date. So what we have here is an hierarchy. This is the list of the hierarchy, which is day. You can move to month by clicking on this. You can see the month. And you can move to quarter. And you can move to year. It means these are sales from 2007 till 2007, 2008, 2009. It means the sales keep going down every year based on the graph, based on this graph or this line chart. Is it clear? So this is it. Now, if you want to go back to view it on a monthly basis, there are two ways you can view it here. We have what is called the next level, and we have the hierarchy. If I click on this, it will show us the quarter. Quarter 1, we have this here. Quarter 2, we have this. Quarter 3, we have this. Quarter 4, we have this. This is quarter 1 for all the 3 years. Quarter 2 for all the 3 years. Quarter 3 for all the 3 years, and quarter 4 for all the years. But if we use this one with hierarchy, it's going to show you quarter 1 for 2007, quarter 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2007, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2008, and same thing for 2009. And see that this movement is different from these other movements here. That is how we create the line charts. Let me add another one. Let me add start page so you can see their movement. So these are our sales. These are our start. So let's go back to report. Is that clear? Hello? Is that clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Continue? Okay, good. So I want to duplicate this table. I want to copy and paste this table. I want us to learn something again from here. Copy visual, and paste. Control C, Control V. I have this table here. This table. I have it. Now what I want to do now is I want us to see, I want to compare the year. You can see that when we check the year, the sales just went down. Let's check what happened to each of the year on monthly basis. So what happened? Let me remove the one for cost now. Let me remove the cost. Let's focus on our sales only. You will see that this date here, under the date here, you can see that we have the hierarchy year, quarter, month, and day. I want to remove this year here. I remove the year. We now have the quarter. And down here, under the legend, I want to add year. I want to add year here. I will add year into this place. So you can see the movement year by year to see what happened from the first quarter to the last quarter. Or you can use month to track what happened on each of the year. You can see the sales in each of the months per year, 2007, 2008, 2009. You can see them in different colors. That is another way. Visualize our chart or our line chart. You can also check it in the area chart too. You can check in the area chart. So I think it should be this. This one is stacked area chart. Place them on top of each other. Okay, so this is it in area chart. Any question on that? So that is the line chart in Power BI. That is line chart in Power BI. So those are the way by which we can visualize our date. We use line chart mostly. And something happened here. Oh, good. Sometimes okay, let me do something. Let's say I use this method. I create a line chart. Then I use month name. Look at what happened. When I use month name and total sales. I use month name and total sales. Let's see what happened here. Can you tell me what's the problem here? Somebody on mute and tell me what the problem is here. Sometimes when you use a month column and or day column, day name, you are likely to get this in here. You are likely to get this kind of error. Can you spot the error? Somebody spot the error. Spot the error. Madam Odia, can you spot the error? Are you there?
Yeah.
What is the error here? Mr. Adetunji, what is the error here? And you look at it very well. There's an error here. Look down. Look down here. What do you see?
November.
Can you see that? Can you see the arrangement?
Yes.
Because Power BI is ranking it based on the volume of sales from higher to lowest.
Okay.
But we don't want like this. We want to arrange January to December so that we can see the trend by ourselves. What do we do when you have this kind of issue? You go back to column view. Now, you now select this column that you want to use, this month column. Please look at it. We did it under Power BI. You select this column. We now go to sort by. Want to sort by this month number. Want to use this column. This is 1, 2, 3 to 12. We now say sort by what? By month number. So when time we are using this column next time, Power BI that is going to follow this what? These columns to analyze. Let's go back to our visual and remove this and bring it back. Our month name, do this. Now we can see that it's now following January to December method. So that is that. So I'm going to remove it. Now, the next thing I'm going to look at is what is called date intelligent functions. We have what is called date intelligent functions. Time intelligent functions in Power BI. This function, time intelligent, we have worked on this till the time. Let's move to this because they are related, which is time intelligent functions in Power BI. What we do under time intelligence is that Power BI is able to compare some things either in a month, in a year, or as we want. That is what we do. Let me click on it and see what we have there. Right, we have closing balance at the end of the month, closing balance, date add, date between two periods, date is in date, month to date, quarter to date, week to date, year to date, and the rest. So those are what we have under this. We want to know what total sales today, total sales last year, total sales, all those things, all the opening balance, that month, all those things. Those are what we do under what time intelligence function. Now let's start with that. This time around, we are going to use measures now. We are not going to use column. We cannot do that one with column. We want Excel to do the Power BI to do the magic itself. We don't need them on column. We already have the column that we need that can do the magic for us. So what do? I will click on this. Then I will go to new measure. Or I can right click and click on the new measure. New measure. So first thing we have here is we want to know our revenue year to date. Revenue YTD. That is called from year to date. Year to date. Okay. So we're going to use what is called calculate function. Please, this function is very important in Power BI. This calculate function is very, very important. You're going to use it in so many things. Use it in so many places. So for now, we are focusing on what? On the date part of it. We want to calculate our revenue till date. We want to know from January till period what sales have been made. I'm going to click on the calculate function, then our total sales. Total sales, comma. What's the next thing? Filter. The filter now will now be what? Date YTD. Sorry. We have date YTD. We have date QTD. We have date MTD. So I'm going to use date YTD for now. Year to date. What are we bringing? Our date key. Our date key. This is our date key in our date table. And let's close the bracket and hit enter. So we have our revenue year to date. How do we now see whether it's working or not? How do we see if it's working or not? I'm going to click on the matrix again. Now, let me bring in my date. Beginning of the month. Let's use the beginning of the month so that we can see the beginning of every month. I want to use let's use the beginning of the month in our date table. Beginning of every month or last year every month. We have this. Remember what we did earlier when it's summarizing for us. We have this. This is the beginning of every month. And want to see our total sales, right? And go to total revenue or revenue year to date. We want to bring total sales also. So let this one be at the top. Let this be at the top. And then this one will come down. Now you can see that. Let me expand this so you can see it properly. You can see our sales in January 269 to 69. But in February we have 269 298 568 plus. So you can see that this is adding up to December. Can you see that this is showing us as at March, we have total sales of this, as at April, total sales, as at May, up to what? Up to December. Then it's another year again, another year from January again, adding up to last year. You can also visualize that, and from here, let me scroll up. And let's say we have, let me format the column. The value in the column. Let me check. Additional format. Okay, you can add, let's use on the series. Let's add data bar. So you can see the way the sales keep going up. Oh, revenue year to date here. Something is wrong here. Okay, this column has been formatted. I've sorted to this. sorted. So you can see how our sales started growing up to this. The second year again, so that is called YTD. We also have what is called month to date too. Month to date will be adding all your sales from January 1, January 2, January 3, January 30, February 1 up to end of 2. So that is one of the time intelligence function that we have in Power BI. Is that clear? I'm going to leave this now. Now let's look for another one again. What about last month? We want to compare our sales last month to this month. We want to see our last month date side by side and this month sales. We are going to use another DAX measure again. I'm selecting this. It's one of the time intelligence function too. What do? We create new measure. We use what? New measure again. So now we're going to call this last month sales or revenue. Want to know the last month revenue. What do? We're going to start with what? Calculate function. That is, we want to make use of total, is to go and look at total revenue first. That's the first thing we want to know. We want to look at total revenue. After total revenue, what else do you want it to do? That's what it's called DATE-ADD function. DATE-ADD function. Open the bracket. With DATE-ADD, what happens is we are able to add date or subtract date. We can add date and we can subtract date. So I'm going to use date key table. Let's go to our date key table. In our date table, date key column in our date table, comma. After the date, it's asking date add three functions, three arguments. Date, we have given date. It's asking how many number of interval the last month, -1, comma. Then what should be the interval? Month. Then close the bracket. It means that we can look at previous week, previous year, we can compare last year to this year. It can be previous year sales, previous month sales, previous quarter sales, based on what we have here. And use any of these year, month, quarter, and day. So now we are using month. So close the bracket and hit enter. So from this enter that we have, next thing we do now is we are going to add it to this visual. I'm going to add it to this visual. So I will add this. It will come before the revenue year to date, or we will take it to the beginning. Or we can come at the end too. Okay, let's put this one come here and this one come here. Okay, so let me bring in our last month revenue. So let's see. I'm going to bring this one in between so I can compare these two side by side. So let me expand this and see what we have. You can see this one, there's no previous year, previous month for this. You can see 269 for the January sales. You can compare January to February now. 269. This one now comes to 298 to 300. We now have 300 to 400. So you can compare the month by month. Last month, this month. Last year, this year. Last quarter, this quarter. Those are what we call what? Time intelligence function in Power BI. Okay, now I think last thing we're going to look at under time intelligence function is the same period. Same period last year, same period last month. You get me? You can see that these are previous periods. But now, that's okay. Last we have seen how to use year to date, last year, last month, last month. But we want to check the similar period, the similar duration. Similar duration, same period, particular period last year. How do we do that? How do we do that? So I'm going back to this DAX measure and create a new measure again. New measure. I'm going to call it same period last year. Same period last year. Period last year. Same period last year. Now the same period last month can be anything. So let's see how that works also. We have calculate function. Calculate function. What is the first thing we're going to look at, please? What is the first thing that what should be our expression? And somebody unmute and talk to me. We have created like 3 or 4. What should be our expression now? What should be our expression, please? Our expression should be what? Please talk. What should be our expression? Total sales. Total sales should be our expression. Remember, the first 3 we have done. Because we want to know the total sales same period last year. Please, I've sent something to your WhatsApp. I've sent something. If you have downloaded the entire workbook from my Telegram, you don't need to download this again. But if you downloaded what we have in this book alone, that's when you need this customer data. We will need it. If you have downloaded the one I have in my Telegram, that complete table, you already have this customer inside it. So don't bother downloading it again. But if otherwise, you have it in your WhatsApp group now. Now, when it's time to go there, I will let you know. But it's already there in WhatsApp. Okay. Once I said the first thing we do is we bring expression. What do we want to filter? Because we use this to filter our sales based on certain criteria. This calculate function. We don't need total sales, but we need total sales based on certain things. We want to use total sales based on certain criteria. Now, this time around now, so bring our total sales. It can be total anything, but in our case here, what we are dealing with is sales. Total sales. We want to filter by what? By the formula called same period last year. Can you see it there? Same period last year. We need something to put there. What do we need? Our date column key. Date key only. Date key from our date table. Then close the bracket. Enter. Now we have our same period last year. Let's bring it into this equation again and see what we have. Okay, sorry. Okay. Let's bring it into this also. Although do you create another one for it to compare the years? same period, something like we did, like what we did here, same period last year. And see there. Yeah. This is line chart. Let's do it. The formula now. Okay, let me use this. We're still going to use this matrix. Same period last year, right? So let me expand this. You can see there's no period to compare to 2007. So 2008 now, you can see the same period last year now. Compare 2000. We have 269 January last year, but this year we have 279. 298 last year, this year 288, and so on and so forth. So those are the area we're looking at under time intelligence function. So let me just allow this tree to fill in the whole page. Allow them to fill the whole page. Any question on that? On all this I've been doing? So we move to another function again. Any question? Okay. Please, kindly give me a few minutes. I will be back. 2 minutes, like 3 minutes, please. Okay, so I'm back. Before we continue, let's quickly bring in our customer table. Let's bring in our customer table. So I'm clicking on get data. That's the CSV file on total sales table, customer table. Open. I don't want to do any format. I'm just bringing in load. My system is slow, so if I have to go through that route again, I'm going to refresh all other. That's the thing I have. Okay. So now we have our customer table. Let's go to data model, data modeling now. Let's go and add our date table, our customer table to our sales. Where is the table? Okay, Power BI has detected the customer key column already. Now we already have relationship between our customer and our, okay, that's customer and territory. Where is it? Okay. Between customer and customer and territory. Let me reduce this so we can see what we want clearly. Let's see, we have customer. So customer only connected to our territory. Do we have any customer key in our sales table? Customer key in our sales table. I think we have initially, like we remove it in Power Query also. But no problem. That will not disturb. That will not disturb what we want to learn now. No, it's not what we want to learn. Let's go back to our table view. Let's go back to our table view. Remember last week we learned how to use sum functions. Today, let's also see something here that is also related to that. One of the basic functions that we also use is what is called count. Count functions. Count functions. Let's see how we can apply that. Count functions. We have products here, right? They want to have on our sales table. Let's have in our sales table. We have stock. Okay. We want to see how many sales do we have? How do we know how many sales do we have? We want to know the number of sales that we have. This is number of time that we sell. Number of total sales. Number of sales. So in Excel, we want to know the number of sales that we have. This is one sale. This is one sale. This is another sale. Another sale. Another sale. Another sale. This you can see them with sales key. Each one has its own key. How do we know the number of sales that we have? How do we know it? I've already unmute and talk to me.
Hello, Mr. Kim. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Yes, by using the count row.
Count rows. Okay.
Yeah.
Count rows. Correct. It's called count rows because each row represents a transaction. So let's quickly see that. Let's see the count rows now. Select what? I'm going to use new measure now. New measure. That is not column because there's nothing we are adding. We are not adding any column. Just go to your new measure now and type total number of sales, total number of sales order. Let's call it that. Number of sales order. What do we use? We use count rows. Count rows. Which table are we counting? Which table are we counting? Sales. Do you have any sales table? Yes. Sales table and hit enter. So the number of orders we have in that row will be here. We cannot see it until we go back to our view. Let's go to our view and see the number of, let's go to another sheet. And we're going to see the number of sales order. Let's change it to card video. So this is it. 3 million sales. But this is not exact figure. We don't want the exact figure. We want to know 3 million what. You can come here and let's make it this number. And you can see the number of sales, number of orders that we have. 3,406 rows. 3,406 rows. These are the number of orders that we have. Same thing we can also do for our customer too. Number of customers that we have. You can see that you can divide this one now by total sales. You get your average sales. If you want to get your average sales now, you divide total sales by total number of orders to give you average sales. So let's look at our. I want to use this page for customer. This sheet. I want to use this sheet for customer. I think we have our sales here. You can see you can call this. You can rename this place as sales. Sales. Call this one AI page. It's AI. Name. Sorry. All the page AI page. My system is going for now. So we have this as the AI page. So AI video. Then we call this page. What do we do here? Time analysis. Time. And this one, I'm going to leave this to customer. Maybe we use the last one for product too. We need to have a product analysis too. Okay, so I'm going to use this for customer. Let's quickly see what we can do with the customer analysis there. So number one, let's start with the number of customers that we have. So I will come here and then create new measure. number of customers, number of customers that we have, number of customers. Number of customers, that would be what? Count rows. Count rows. Which table? Customer table. Yes, D dimension customer table. In customer as dimension table for customer. Okay. Okay. So we have this, and I'm going to replace. I'm going to use number of customer here. Now see number of customer we have now. I just have customer. So from this customer now, we want to know how many of them are male customer, or let's look at the customer table. See what analysis we can do with this table. What's our customer table? We have name, last name. Okay, we can find their age now. We have done age before. We can use this original data to do age now. Do we have their gender? No gender. So we have gender here. Where gender is equal to head or M. So we have M and N. No empty rows there. Okay, so let me go back. Let's go back to our default view. How many of them are female? How do we get it? So I go back to my visual this place and I click on new measure. Now and see our number of male customer. Number of male customer. What do we use? We use what is called calculate function. This time around, since we want to know from a total customer that we have, how many of them are males? What should be our expression? What should be our expression?
Gender column. Gender column.
No. Our expression should be total customer cost. Number of customers. That should be our expression. Is that clear? You know, I've been our time series for sales. What comes is our total revenue? A measure comes first that we have created, which is the number of customers we have. We are telling Fabian, like this. Look at where calculate number of customers. From there, now go and tell us how many are males. Look at me. That is the expression. That's what the expression stands for. Okay. He said, look at total customer. He's now saying, what the next thing? Filter. What do you want to filter now? You can also okay. Now go to the column from this total customer. Go to where we have the gender. Where gender equals to double quote M double quote and close the bracket. We said, look at that customer and tell us where gender equals to what? M. Let's see what we have there. So I'm going to click on this card visual again. And let's see the number of male customer that we have. Male customer. We have 9525 customers who are male. Same with female customer too. We can also use the same formula for female customer, or we can do total customer minus the number of male customers. Let's comment on this and click on new measure. We have number of female customers. Female customer is what? Consider number of customers minus number of male customers. You give us female customers. Why we use this is because we observe that there is no empty space. There is no blank. There is no blank under the number of genders we have. If you look at the gender we have under the table, under the customer table, gender column, there is no empty. There is no empty here. If there is empty, it means that you cannot just minus this from total, because we are going to add the empty to it. So you are going to use the formula we use for male to get for female to avoid necessary mistake. So now we can see that we have this now. Let's check if it's working. Let's check if our formula is working. Select this and click on number of female customers. 9,300 and what? And 44. That is it. That's the number of customers that we have. Then, how do we calculate percentage of male and percentage of female customers? Let's do calculation of percentage of male and female. What do you do? Just select new measure, then we type percentage of male as a measure name. Percentage of male equals to what? Divide function. Numerator will be what? Male. 9 male customer, number of male customer, comma. What is the denominator? Number of customer. At least you want to divide this by this. And then you go to format it in what? In this percentage. So let's see what we have there. So let me check if it's working. When percentage of male, and 0.5. Still not in percentage. Click on this again and go and check this box. Click on this percentage. And select how many decimal you want. Just make it 1. That would be what? That would be 50.5. Then we'll have percentage of female too. Same way. Just come here and just duplicate this. and just duplicate it. Let's create new measure. Percentage of female equals to divide open a bracket number of female customer, comma, so we can call this, let's try and see what we have there. Number of female customers, 50, 0.52. Okay, let's turn it into percentage. And make it 1 decimal place. So we have 49.5 and 50.5. It means perhaps our customer are just perhaps we sell almost unisex product that is used by both male and female, possibly. Are we clear with all this? Okay, so I think we can just go for break now. Then, like by 12:05, you can come back. 12:05. Let's break the class now. So come back by 12:05. Thank you very much.